because you are a woman. You might own your own business. You may be the CEO. All the women folk there are going to be looking up to you. And this even surpasses your children now. So people are looking up to you as the boss. So when you walk, when you talk, whatever you do, you need to have some elegance in whatever you do. You need to be able to be in full control of your environment. So when we say have presence, it's not easy for a woman to rise to the top. It's not easy for a woman to rise in the corporate space. There must be something that is different about you, that stands out about you. That's why they think you're fit for that place. Anyone can wake up tomorrow and be their own CEO of their own company. But I would always say, no matter what you do, wherever you find yourself, always make sure that you're sensitive to the way you act, the way you speak, the way you talk, the way you behave. And that's why, for me, I think every woman should have some form of elegance. Now, how do you express elegance? It could be the way you make sure that your total package, the way you dress, you don't need to dress $1 million at all. Your package is essential. But your package comes with grooming as well. Make sure that you're well groomed. Make sure that the way, when you're talking, you talk, and people can hear you, people can understand you with a lot of clarity, with a lot of conciseness, confidence, and assertiveness, all right? And make sure that you're present. People are talking to you. You're not daydreaming, but people can see that you're actually actively listening. I would say for every woman, for every mother, it's really important to lead by example. If you say yes, make sure your yes is yes. And if you say no, make sure your no is no. Don't sit on the grey fence, okay? It's really important that, because everybody's watching you. So like I said before, we live in a world where we're multitaskers as women. So we have to play a role socially at home, we play a role in the office, and we play a role amongst our family and friends. So people will always know you for something. Make sure that thing is positive. All right, what's your character traits? There's a quote that says, if you lose your property, you lose nothing. If you lose your health, you actually lose something. But if you lose your character, you actually lose everything. So you do need to make sure that the character that you have is one that portrays one of good first impression, because it can take you a while to build a good first impression, and it can take you seconds to lose it just by one poor act. I always say a woman should have a quintessential image. What's your image? What's your style? And it comes down to your dressing, of course.
Okay.
And I would say, for instance, you know, fashion comes and goes. It's nice to follow fashion, but always have your own style, because style is eternal. All right. What are you comfortable with? You know, hair-wise, some people like short haircuts. That's fine. Some people prefer the long, you know. Some people prefer certain colors around them. Certain people prefer certain types of shoes and clothing. Whatever you feel comfortable with, create your own image. Don't follow fashion all the time, and don't be a wannabe. Have your own style. Let people know that this is what you like, this is the color. So when they want to buy you a gift, they almost know the things that you like, and they can predict you, you know. I always say it's really essential to think, to speak, and to act with caution. All right, so it doesn't necessarily mean that every time they ask you a question, you jump to the answer without thinking. Many times, especially as a leader, especially as an executive, especially as an aspiring, you know, successful woman to be, sometimes you need to think very well. You need to take caution before you respond, and by that time, when you're acting, everything is coordinated, everything is synchronized. Some women rush to say answers, and they don't really know what they're saying. Some people say things because they're copying other people. The truth is, to be a mother, your son asks you a question and it's an awkward question. Don't rush to say the answer. Be cautious what you're saying to your children, because your children will likely quote you. They will quote you. They will certainly quote you. They will quote. So kids will ask questions, colleagues will ask questions, subordinates will ask questions. Make sure that whatever you say, you are very assertive and you're confident with whatever you're saying, you know, because you are constantly playing that motherly role, and they will always continuously quote you. As a mother, too, you got to evolve with the times. There's nothing like, this is how my mom used to do it. Kids don't even like that nowadays. They don't even this is how this is how my mother used to do it. No, my mother used to say this, and I said, well, Mom, this is the new 21st century. We don't do things like that anymore. So you really have to evolve with the times. And I'm even talking about technology and social media as well. You can't say, well, that's not for me. We never did it during our time. I think you need to be able to be on track with what's going on out there. It doesn't mean you must have a social media platform, but at least know how to use it. be in track with
Someone just said something very, very touching. Festus Akimboyewa.
Okay.
My mom is late, but I recognize what she did for me every blessed day, which turns every day into Mother's Day for me.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, how
yes.
touching, Festus.
I really love that. So evolve with the times is really important. It's really, really about being in touch with what's going on around you. And that's why I always tell a lot of women, try as much as possible to network with other people. So you know what's current, you know what's going on out there in terms of topics of discussion, in terms of what's going on out there, in terms of you have to evolve with the times.
We'll take a quick break and we'll come back. Janet will round off on the Magnificent Supermom. Welcome back. Janet's winding down with the super magnificent mom. So, Janet.
Yes, as we recognize tomorrow being Mother's Day, and we're talking about the super magnificent mom, I would implore everyone to just take a seat, look back, think back to what value your mother, whether spiritual, whether biological, whoever you call a mother, what she has done for you and how it has impacted you and made you what you are today. That's a good way to really recognize your super magnificent mom, because mothers are really someone that we really can't do without. They are the kind of people that we always look up to, even as we become mothers ourselves and we're trying to teach our own daughters to become mothers. We will always recognize that mother, whether you're a man or a woman alike. The mother is the most important person. And on that note, I would say every woman is born to inspire. So we have to make sure that whatever we do, we leave a legacy of inspiration.
And I would write on that and say to every man, whether you like the women around you or not, there's one woman you always tend to want to look to or talk to or ask for something from. At least show some care.
So it's either your wife, your mother, or your sister, or even a
your
friend.
Colleague, a friend.
Yep.
Your neighbor.
Yes.
Right.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
There's some woman in your life
somewhere
who is the ultimate as far as you're concerned.
Thank you, Janet.
You're welcome.
And so nice to be back for the home stretch. You don't want to go away. Today is all about the women. Now you need to see the next